West Bank of Demerara from Backstreet Grove and Avenue A Diamond to 3rd Street Craig from 9 to 15 hours. The reason for the outage is to connect line and load side of auto recloser and transfer high voltage HV mains and lines hardware to new poles and remove old poles. And did you know that weekly planned maintenance allows for routine inspection and maintenance of the network to provide customers with a reliable supply of electricity? GPL, empowering you.
Public advisory. GPL is coming to you. The Guyana Power and Light Inc. wishes to advise our valued customers within the Bell West community and neighboring environs that GPL will be hosting a community outreach on Saturday, March 6, 2021 at the Bell West Masjid, Canal Number 2, West Bank, Demerara from 9 hours, 14 hours. Residents are encouraged to come with questions, queries regarding GPL bill and or any other GPL related matter, as GPL's competent staff will be on site to assist customers at the point of their need. GPL is on the move.
Good night, everyone, and welcome to the Lall Show, where we discuss your wealth and you, with the publisher of Kaieteur News, Mr. Lall. I am Kimo King, the moderator for tonight's proceedings, and we also have on the panel some very special guests with us. I will go on by letting Mr. Lall take the mic.
Thank you, Kimal, and good night to all Guyana. Before I make my presentation, I just want to give you guys a quick update about that monster we spoke about Monday night that brutalized and raped that Spanish girl, mother of 3. Today, we carried another story in which he did almost the similar thing to her. He has disfigured her nose with a bite mark that she says every day as she go before the mirror to put on her makeup, she sees this monster in front of him. There are other women who have identified themselves as being raped and brutalized by that same man. Some of them has moved into the interior for fear of their lives with that gentleman, that monster, that creep. So we keep abreast and we'll give you an update as we report on them. That guy should never be on the streets ever again with the things he have done. I believe something is definitely wrong with him. And I also believe that something is definitely wrong in this country called Guyana. We need, as a people, to check the heads of some of our brothers and sisters, especially the leaders. We need to check their heads. What they're doing to us and this country is unthinkable. This can't be mistakes anymore, Guyana. This is pure evil, wicked, and downright dishonesty. Things our leaders are doing. Hear me, guys, not even an insane person would do. Not even an 8-year-old child would do it. You know, not even a drunkard who is intoxicated to the max would do things to themselves or to Guyana. Something got to be done, and done quickly by all of us, guys. Every day that goes by, seeing and reading some of the things we hear at the Kaieteur News expose in this country, more and more I am convinced that these chaps we have for leaders don't mean well for us, the Guyanese people. By now, all of you know, I grew up in business. From walking and selling in the streets, then from stalls in Stabrook Market to a store on Regent Street, and now 26 years in the newspaper business. It's too much to consume what these guys doing to all of Guyana. Business is in my bloodstream. Guys, I see it, I taste it, I walk it, I smell it, I sleep it, I live it. No one can fool me or make me an idiot. Not the president, not the vice president, not the opposition leader, or any one of the politicians we have around. And I am not boasting. I can spot a thief, a scamp from 1,000,000,000,000 miles away. It's not a very hard thing to do, guys. Any market vendor or a street seller can do that. I am seeing what the oil people doing out there from my office. I can see what OMI and all the other foreigners doing in our gold fields from my home in Nandi Park. Yet our leaders can't see what's going on in front of their eyes with our wealth. I like to give examples to make things very simple so that every one of you can understand clearly what is going on. Listen to this. You have a store or a stall, a market stall. You have a farm. You have a pen with chickens. Would you allow people to just walk in and pack up every day and not checking to see what is going out? No, man. No one runs a business like that. We have been pumping oil 1 year now, and no one is checking what is coming up on a daily basis or what is going out on a monthly basis. This gotta be madness. This is something else. I can't find words to describe the extent of the skullduggery of what's going on here with our resources, guys, with our bread and butter. I just can't find words to describe that. We have foreign companies digging away our gold, our bauxite, our timber, our oil, and so much more. And not a soul is checking to see what is going out of this country. What is going on, Guyana? Can you guys tell me? When are you going to start getting your acts together? When the sugar workers will wake up? When the vendors will stand up? When the public servants will say something? When the police, the nurses, the doctors, and those of you who have been robbed of a triple salary and a better standard of living and a simple job. What you guys saying about this? You got to say something. Guyanese, you got to wake up. These foreign people are looting your wealth, and we are not hearing a single word from anyone. What's going on? From the moment they announced the oil find in Guyana, my newspaper has been reporting on this oil industry. This went on for the last 5 years. We began to write and expose the ills to many nations around this world, just so that Guyana don't fall into any of those traps that made all those countries poorer than richer. We did that just to make sure that Guyana does not make the same mistakes those countries made. You know, for the last 2 years, I can't remember a single day that went by without 1 or 2 oil stories. None of these stories we carried was ever debunked. None of the leaders have ever came out and say, we will try to avoid the mistakes other countries made. Instead, what we are witnessing presently is that the leaders of the land have instead adopted those mistakes, skullduggery, and has made it even worse for Guyana. Guys, are you willing to sit silent and allow them to take us down that road? No, man. No, please don't do that. Our leaders have not come out in support or deny what these oil players did to many countries. Today, we are already pumping oil, and little or nothing is said to this nation about where we are or where we are heading. No, guys, no, man. No, they have to do better. For the last 14 months, we have had no reports of what is going away or coming out of our oil fields. We should have had an oil program starting from nursery school upwards on this oil in Guyana. But instead, these chaps behaving like if we are slaves or fools that do not deserve to know anything that is taking place with our wealth. These oil companies doing worse to us now than what they did elsewhere, Guyana. And we sit back not saying a single word. Just keep collecting inflated bills, loans over and over for us to pay. Make no mistake, guys, all the foreigners are not to be trusted. Their records are stink and dirty. All over the place they have been. And our leaders seems to don't give a damn, allowing them to instead rape us without lube and tell us to enjoy it. It's a good service they're offering. Man, if this is not barefaced robbery and evil, I don't know what it is, Guyana. Yes, that's what our politicians leading us into. I am getting tired telling you people to wake up. Wake up and smell the rats. They are all rats, ready to make us into food for them. You know, just yesterday afternoon, a U.S. judge fined ExxonMobil $14 million US for illegally flaring in the U.S. What is going on here right now? This is more than illegal flaring, what they're doing out there to us. And what are we hearing from them leaders? Maybe you're hearing, kill us, man. We are not humans. We are animals. Maybe that's what they're thinking in their mind, because you're not hearing anything and they're not doing anything. All of you by now would have read about a serial rapist that committed those heinous crimes against those innocent women, including the woman of 3 children. And I am sure many of you have terrible descriptions of that monster and what y'all would do and wouldn't do to him. Yes. I also agree he's a monster. For me, he should never see the light of the day on any streets on planet Earth. He should rot in prison. I am one of them that been with my reporters to get that story, and also the other story that in today's newspaper. Let me say this, guys, and I want you to listen to me carefully. What Exxon and the other foreign companies doing here to us is 1 trillion times worse than what that monster did to those women. They have done worst. They are complicity. They are complicit in the killing of many people around the world and left hundreds of millions of people poorer than they were before they went in and took the people oil. Many of them now having to resort to prostitution for a living. Nigeria, Ghana, Angola, Papua New Guinea, all over these people have went to, left the people doing that type of work to make ends meet when the day come. They are the purest of evil you can think of. And that's the truth, guys. That's the honest, godly truth. Just Google anything I'm talking about, and it's big and wide on the internet. The only people who can't see that is our leaders. ExxonMobil sued again for the umpteenth time around the world. This time, they're being sued in their own country, the United States of America, for allegedly inflating their assets. Jack up the price. You know, when a man jack up the price on something, what he out to do? I don't have to explain that. He's out to mislead and rob you blind. Plain and simple. If they are accused of doing that in their own country, brothers and sisters, just imagine what I'm doing to Guyana, me and you. Let me say this. This oil, gold, bauxite, timber that we have is our transported property. I have said this on a program before. None of the leaders of this country or those foreign people's one. It's ours. We should be the ones to enjoy the fruits of it, not just them. We should not leave no one party. Listen to me, Guyana. We should not leave no one party of this land to look out for us. Not the PPP, not the PNC, or none other of the small parties. No. Me and you must have a say. And we must have a say now. Guys, we have too much massive wealth to live like this. Your life should have been one like the people in Dubai and Kuwait already. So please, start thinking and stop sleeping and believing that these chaps we have leading us will look out for you. They are not. What we have been witnessing for the last 5 years, going on to 6 years, they are only looking out for themselves, their friends and their families. You know, I don't like too much music in my ears. but I am ready and willing to listen to any music now if it's talking about a better deal with them oil and gold contracts. Let me be blunt. We as a people cannot fight for our fair share from ExxonMobil while we are divided or fighting among ourselves. No. We must unite under one roof to stop these people from fetching out all our wealth for nothing. And I am certain all of you will agree with me on this. So please wake up. I think the opposition has now woken up to the reality that the deal, the coalition signed, and which is not being renegotiated by the PPPC, is not in their interest any longer to defend. Everybody in Guyana and across this world knows by now that we get shafted with them oil contracts and them deals. Them oil contracts and them deals our leaders signed, Guyana, is the worst the world has ever seen. It is highway robbery, first-class banditry, international pickpocket, and a ripoff. You hear me, guys? These things are a ripoff. And these agreements must be changed. It must be changed. It is left to me and you to get it done. This deal must be changed so that when we leave this world, our conscience must be clear, knowing that we have secured a better future for our children and grandchildren. What you say, guys? If we don't confront these oil monsters as one people, our children and future generations will live in extreme poverty, just like those people in Nigeria, Ghana, Papua New Guinea, and all the rest of the countries. We must change this ugly state of affairs, and you also have a key role to play. You can begin by talking to your politicians and demanding that they get cracking in pressing for changes to these agreements. Please do that. It can happen and it must happen. And it must happen now. But it depends on all of us. A united Guyana. Don't leave it on Lall alone and his team in the Kaieteur News. Please, all of us has to hold one head. We need to let the leaders know that it was a great blunder on their part to sign away our resources. We need to let them know that we know that the deals they signed were not only giveaways, but a betrayal and robbery to the Guyanese people. Unless them know how we feel about what they do, brothers and sisters, they will not act. They will not act on our behalf or do the things which need to be done to fix these arrangements or contracts. We need these agreements to be fixed and be fixed immediately, guys. Police officers, nurses, teachers, public servants, pensioners, man, all the citizens should be able to enjoy a decent life with the wealth that was given to us by our Creator. A better life in this country for all of us. guys, can only happen if these bad agreements are renegotiated and the benefits we lose can be snatched back. It needs to be done. The Kaieteur News and the Kaieteur Radio is ready to stand beside you to fight this terrible wrong they have committed against you and our children. We will continue to stand anyways, with or without you. I am pleading with all of you. We need everybody on board, especially the lawyers. We got to challenge these oil agreements in the international courts. You hear me, guys? I am calling on the right-minded lawyers to come on board and let us fight this together on behalf of all Guyana. If our leaders can't fight for us, we have to fight for ourselves. We have to explore the possibility of taking this matter to the international courts. I believe we will have a strong case, guys. Recently, Royal Dutch Shell Oil Company that's working out there, was taken to the courts by environmentalists acting on behalf of a few farmers in Nigeria. That court ordered that Shell Oil Company pay for the damages they caused in Nigeria. Hear this. Cases so far filed on behalf of African nations have all been won. These wins were based on the premise that the selling out of the people's wealth by a few corrupt leaders in government is against the rights of the citizens. One court said, people must have full transparency so they know what's happening with their wealth. Isn't that what we at the Kaieteur News have been asking for over the past years? Yes, that is what we have been asking for. But our leaders continue to hide and duck, doing things in secret and under the table. Yes, they're still hiding. They're hiding many of the reports from us. We can't see the daily oil production report from Exxon and many others. You believe that? There are other cases being heard at present, and these are likely to be decided in favor of those African nations. What that tells you, brothers and sisters, it tells us we have global backing and international law on our side. So what are we waiting for, guys? We must take action now. We need to take it now before it's too late. We cannot sit back and do nothing. No. We have to take action now. Our leaders give away the Kaieteur and Kanji oil blocks for free. And the owners are now telling us that we owe them in excess of $100 million. Can you guys believe this nonsense? You guys believe this thing? People who get oil blocks that worth billions of US dollars for free, telling us, me and you, Guyanese, that we now owe them. Man, you gotta be joking. This is downright disrespect to us. And most of all, you're hearing nothing. Not a single word from our leaders. Again, I ask, what is going on, guys? And when Kaieteur News speaks out and exposes the truth, here is one. The ex-president Donald Ramotar sues the newspaper and me. The judge is ruling on this matter in a few days' time. I will update you all as to the decision when it's handed down. You see that? You hear that? These politicians, guys, cannot continue with their barefaced fleecing of our wealth and then turn around and sue us for talking the truth. No, man. My mouth can never shut as long as I am breathing. Hear that loud and clear, my brothers and sisters. I love you all, and my mouth will not shut. The newspaper or the radio station will not be shut up. We have to end this exploitation. If I have to go down on my knees to beg for cash to challenge this oil contract in the international courts, guys, I will. I will. We are not dealing with ordinary people here, guys. We are dealing with corrupt leaders, cheats, liars, crooks, and cunning oil companies. They are out to rob us all blind and leave us without food and clothes to cover our backs. Just like what they did to other nations. Listen to me. It's the truth I'm saying. This is exactly what they did to many countries. And if given a chance, they would rob their own country too. Yes. They are not people to be trusted with your mango tree or your bora tree, much less our oil, our gold, our timber, and other resources. Like I said just the other day, ExxonMobil was sued in Texas for allegedly inflating the value of their oil assets. They were sued for misleading their own investors. The suit says the defendants, Exxon, made materially false and misleading statement regarding the company's business operations and compliance policies. It is alleged that Exxon failed to disclose that the company forced its employees to use unrealistic assumptions for the timelines for well drilling in the Permian Basin in the United States. This led to the artificial inflation of the value of the company's well operations in the basin. Exxon was then subjected to a higher risk of regulatory investigation and oversight. Those investigations found that the company's public statements were materially false and misleading at all relevant times. The suit singled out, here it is, the suit singled out ExxonMobil CEO Darren Woods, the boss, the vice president, and the controller of ExxonMobil. According to the documents, these were the persons with the power and authority to control the contents of ExxonMobil public filings, press releases, and other communications. In short, They could have stopped it. Rather, they used their positions at Exxon and their access to material information in their best interests, and not, listen to this, and not in the interest of the public. The court was told that the CEO, Darren Woods, and his gang knew that there were statements. The statements were false and misleading, but did not disclose it. They kept secret the fake value for their stock and were all found liable. Guys, you want? I got a whole. Oh, just give me a moment. Play your ad.
GPL Public Advisory, major planned maintenance for Friday, March 5th, 2021, on the east coast of Demerara from Lilliandale to Success from 9 a.m. to 15 hours. Reason for outage: replacement of 2 defective GAB switches, retention of 10 pole spans high voltage mains, transfer of high voltage and low voltage mains to 6 14-meter new poles, and installation of 3 RCO switches and replace 6 RCO switches. Did you know? Weekly plant maintenance allows for routine inspection and maintenance of the network to provide customers with a reliable supply of electricity. GPL, empowering you.
Yeah? Sorry about that. That was a paid ad, and it's a message for the Guyanese people. We had to play that. But let me refresh you. Exxon failed and mislead the US. So if they are accused in the United States of inflating the value of their assets to deceive their own shareholders, brothers and sisters, what do you think they're doing here with us? Huh? Guys, think about that. We had no say. We had no say on almost 20 billion US dollar, which they claim they have spent. And we, gullible, accept without asking a question. Guess who the PPP put to check the Payara project, the 9 billion US dollar for us? A Canadian woman named Alison Redford, who received money from the oil company. What is really going on here, guys? You tell me, man, I'm stupid. Our leaders didn't ask none of us to check 9 billion. They bring in a Canadian woman who take money from the oil company to look out for our interests in $9 billion. The entire 20 billion for Liza 1, Liza 2, and Payara is 20 billion US dollars. You guys know what that represents? It's 12 years of our annual national budget, guys. 12 years. Not 1 year, what these politicians taking a whole month to debate in Parliament. That money represents 12 years of our budget, and we had no say on it. We had no say. Our leaders are folding their hands and turning their heads, doing and saying nothing about this, except that they said they're going to add it. They're going to check on it. They should have checked it before approving the license to allow the people them to go on. Instead, they bring the foreigner to tell them, yeah, man, it's okay, y'all go ahead. Accept. Y'all going to pay. 12 years of the annual budget. We had no say. We did not have a say or no approval for that spending, to which we have to pay back. Although we were supposed to approve every single cent, we still turn a blind eye. and accepting, like if we crazy, like if we stupid, as if we blind. Guys, it is as if a man comes to build your house and he hands you a bill without you approving the design of the house or even checking on what was spent. The oil company are still spending money by the billions right now, and our leaders have no say. They are not authorizing or approving what these guys are spending. You hear me? The spending continues. Guys, when they finish spending and hand us bills, our oil will complete, finished, done, and Guyana will still owe Exxon and others billions of US dollars. We will be indebted to them. Our government has sold us out. They brought that discredited Canadian to check our field development plan. Wow. To date, listen to this one, to date, we have not seen her report. Despite the Vice President, Mr. Jagdeo, saying that everything will be transparent and it will be released. We haven't seen it until now. As a matter of fact, we did a story 2 days ago in which we said 6 months have gone and we can't see that report that woman handed Guyana. The Kaieteur News just yesterday asked ExxonMobil press officer, a Guyanese woman named Janelle Prasad, when will Exxon parent company sign taking full responsibility for any oil disaster which may occur? Having agreed to do so 2 years ago. Here it is. This was the answer they give when asked. ExxonMobil has given assurance to the government that the parent companies will accept liability for oil disasters in the Stabroek Block. Hear that? They're going to take liability. They're going to accept liability. But nothing has been legally binding. Nothing is on pen and paper. Sign, just word of mouth. So basically, Guyana, me and you, is without full coverage in case of any disaster. You know, I wonder if any one of our leaders would take any insurance by word of mouth for them properties. I wonder if David Granger, Joseph Harman, Bharat Jagdeo, or the President Irfan Ali would take word of mouth insurance for their properties. That's the dilemma that they have put us in now. No insurance to protect us. And nobody's saying anything. Guys, Exxon is broke. They are indebted. They have little or no investments out there. That 20 billion, let me remind you guys, them said they spent out there is our debt. Money them borrow on our oil fields to which we have to pay. So please don't forget that. What Exxon got is the money from the sale of our oil fields and stashed off. The oil blocks they get from us for free, they sell it and they stash off the money. You really think they will go and bring out that money from the bank for help you in case of a disaster? Without any signed, binded arrangement or agreement? Come on. Come on. Come on, guys. Our leaders got to be morons to believe that. They turn a blind eye. Exxon will turn a blind eye and walk away. Yes. They walk away and leave many countries in disasters. Just last week, listen to this is important. Just last week, Israel had to shut down all their beaches because of an oil tanker spill off their coast. Them said it would take years to get it cleaned up and millions of dollars to do it. 3 days ago, they banned the sale of all seafood from the Mediterranean Sea after that spill. And them say it will last until the health ministry retracts it. So they will have to either import fish or eat cackabelly from the trenches. That's exactly where Guyana will be in a few years' time. Watch and see. Man, isn't this enough for us to learn from, guys? We getting a few pennies from the oil. What are we going to clean up with? What are we going to clean up with? And what you going to eat? Where will you find money to import seafood? The spill did not only stop in Israel, it reached their neighbor, Lebanon, and damaged their beaches and also their seafood. They are also spending millions of US dollars to clean up their beaches right now as I speak. But they have made no announcement yet about the fishes. And that is only one oil tanker spill, guys. One oil ship passing through. Give that spill. Me ain't talking about a real oil disaster. A real blowout from one of our wells out there. If that ever happened, we will sell many of our future generations to slavery, because we would have to bear the cost of every country that will be affected by that spill. The money they will spend to clean up their countries will be our debts, Guyana debts. All this going on now as I speak, guys, in front of our faces, and our leaders saying them believe that Exxon will pick up the bill in case of a disaster here. You hear that, guys? I think I've made it very simple. No, man, no. We have to stand up. We have to get out there and demand full insurance coverage. Guys, common sense is rare. Is a very rare thing these days. It should be considered a superpower. And as I have grown older, I have learned that pleasing people is an impossible task. But pissing off some of them is a piece of cake. Our leaders seem to have no common sense at all. That's why I love to piss them off every day. And you have to join me in this too. Unless we wake them up. Unless we wake them up with this type of attitude and language, we will not get anywhere. Trust me, guys. Nice words to these people, writing every single day, talking every single day, using nice languages will not wake them up. We have to do other things. Listen how far Exxon will go to get their way. Them and another company called Citigroup petitioned the US regulators to block their shareholders. You hear me? Yes. This only happened recently. Again. To block their investors from voting on resolutions tied to climate change and racial equity. The commission told both companies that they don't agree for that to happen. They don't want, imagine they don't want the shareholders to have a say on anything on pollution. They want to continue to pollute the atmosphere, and the people don't want that. Why should we continue to accept that by allowing them to flare? What's going on here? Who calling the shots with flaring, guys? They are now killing us slowly by doing the same thing here that their own people in the US condemn and have taken them to the regulatory body. I am tired. I'll take a break now. Play your stuff, guys.
Public Advisory. GPL is coming to you. The Guyana Power and Light Inc. wishes to advise our valued customers within the Providence community and neighboring environs that GPL will be hosting a community outreach on Saturday, March 13th, 2021 at Massey Stores, Providence, East Bank, Demerara from 9 hours to 1400 hours. Residents are encouraged to come with their questions or queries regarding GPL bill or any other GPL related matters, as GPL's competent staff will be on site to assist customers at the point of their need. Hashtag GPL is on the move. For more information, call GPL's call center on 226-2600 or contact GPL's Public Relations Unit on 225-1471.
Public advisory. Major planned maintenance on Saturday, March 6, 2021 on the east bank of Demerara from Backstreet Grove and Avenue A Diamond to 3rd Street Craig from 9 to 15 hours. The reason for the outage is to connect line and load side of auto recloser and transfer high voltage HV mains and lines hardware to new poles and remove old poles. And did you know that weekly planned maintenance allows for routine inspection and maintenance of the network to provide customers with a reliable supply of electricity? GPL, empowering you.
Public advisory. GPL is coming to you. The Guyana Power and Light Inc. wishes to advise our valued customers within the Bell West community and neighboring environs that GPL will be hosting a community outreach on Saturday, March 6, 2021 at the Bell West Masjid, Canal Number 2, West Bank, Demerara from 9 hours, 14 hours. Residents are encouraged to come with questions, queries regarding GPL bill and or any other GPL related matter, as GPL's competent staff will be on site to assist customers at the point of their need. GPL is on the move. Welcome back. You are tuned into the Lall Show. Be advised that the lines are now open for your questions and concerns. You can reach us at 226-7453. Again, 226-7453.
Glenn, Exxon do not want their shareholders to be involved in the decision making on the investment and climate pollution. Isn't this the same way the leaders of Guyana behave in relation to all oil investments? And we, the Guyanese people, are more than investors. We are the collective owners of the oil wealth, and we pay for all the bad decisions our government make. So why aren't we involved in the decision making process?
Well, Exxon shareholders are fighting for their say, not only on their shares, but their livelihood. Because if they know if Exxon pollutes globally, it affects their lives too. And they're speaking out. In Guyana, we are not shareholders, we are the owners of these oil fields. And we are being left out. Our leaders are making themselves as if they are left out too, because they are not saying anything, and we doesn't know much. So Exxon has basically left us out, although we are the owners of these wealth. So it's a question I don't know how to answer that, bro.
But at least the Exxon shareholders, they are getting their shares at the end of every quarter, whatever they get their shares.
Yeah.
We the guys are not getting anything. Plus, we are getting the pollution. We are getting the pollution
That's
from the
right. We getting a double whammy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, take a call.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. You are on to the Kaieteur Radio. I'm sorry, we lost that caller.
Yeah. So, like I said, we have to as a people stand up and speak up. We have to get our acts together.
We have to be unified.
You know, there are a couple stories we are carrying tomorrow, and like it, I have to do a special program on it. One of them is so sad, is so sickening, that if we don't wake up and start get our leaders to speak as of tonight, this oil will leave us, and we will not enjoy anything, much less our children. That's what is taking place. Because today ExxonMobil had a press conference, and the things they spoke about, and how they are approaching business here in Guyana, we will not enjoy nothing. So don't depend on our children and grandchildren. Take the call.
Hello, you're on to Kaieteur Radio.
Hello, hi.
Hello.
Hi, you're on.
Can I get a question from Mr. Glenn?
Go ahead.
I was just wondering, Mr. Glenn, I admire your enthusiasm in protecting the rights of Guyanese and their whatever truly belong to them, the oil and the natural resources. But Guyana has been in poverty now for many, many years, one of the poorest countries in the Western Hemisphere. Don't you think this oil wealth should be part of something to bring them out of poverty and to help many, many people instead of fighting giants like ExxonMobil? I know we have to protect our natural resources and do the right thing, but how do we manipulate this situation and also make it better for all Guyanese and good for the environment also? That's my question.
Thank you. Good for the environment and to all Guyanese. For the last 6 years, my friend, our leaders have not been enlightening or educating the nation as to anything what's going on in this land, and that is sad. So here we are, like many nations, how they did it, we're left in the dark. If it wasn't for the Kaieteur News alone, I could say alone in this country, Guyanese would have never known that you got ExxonMobil in this country, much less to fight for what we're fighting here for now, or to educate this nation as to what is to come, what is theirs, what belongs to them, and how we should get it. I've been walking and driving and talking to so many people right across Guyana, and all you hear is thank you, Mr. Lall. Thank you. We are so proud that without you, we know nothing, you know. And it is sad. It is sad that it is left on us here at the Kaieteur News to educate you and not our leaders, not the PPP or the PNC leaders. Nothing. You're hearing absolutely nothing. Oil wealth that should have put us on par to live a better life than what the Canadians or the Americans are living now. Yet we not seeing nothing. We're not even to better our plate with even biscuits more on it. And it has been 14 months now, oil pumping, and we don't know what is going on, bro. So we are in a very, very sad state of affairs. And unless we mobilized, unless we get going by ourselves to fight them, we will not get anywhere. Hence, I've said earlier that we need lawyers on board. We need people to come on board to fight this fight. We can't sit down and play dumb.
Caller, you're on to Kaieteur Radio.
Hello, good night. And good night to Mr. Lall and his staff. Mr. Lall, I am 100% behind you, and I would like you to keep up keep this ball rolling. This is the only way Guyanese people is going to wake up. Mr. Lal, it's getting so worse and worse. You know, as a pensioner now start to get pension, Mr. Lal, me belly rolling when I go to the supermarket. Just imagine, this morning I went to buy a pack of milk, right? And the milk gone up $120 more. Mr. Lal, where we really heading for? You know? These things, it really hurting people in this country here when they're telling me that we can get a better life. With this better life, then we hearing nothing from these people. Them were ruling. We hearing nothing at all with how we stand. It's only you enlightening these people in this country.
My
Mr.
friend,
Lal,
if
I am
we don't,
behind you 100%. Thank you very much, and I'm calling on Guyanese people. Please, y'all, speak up. Speak up. Y'all try and speak up. One more thing, Mr. Lal, before I go. Your program on the afternoon at 2 o'clock, I would just like Miss Shivanie, just to open the line more to people. Because she actually, the program is short, and she actually take up the whole program.
Thank you.
3/4 of the program.
I'll
So
let her
please
know.
do that for me.
I'll let
Good
her
night, and Kaieteur News, hail up to everybody.
Thank you.
Love you all. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Lal, this question I left to answer.
With all the wickedness we're learning about exile and so, why is it not our leaders are opening their eyes?
Oh, that's a tough one. There's so many times that I've spoken that if you're in bed with the oil players, then you would see, like I said, they're turning their eyes, closing their eyes and turning their faces. And it has happened in most of the African countries. The leaders have lie in bed with them, and they only looking out for themselves. So we are facing a great dilemma in this land. And if you recall, the opposition leader, Joseph Harman, has promised to put together an oil team to hold this open press conference. And man has, after we would have spoken so many times on it, he just blunted it and said, no, we don't have anything to say. So you got to read through the line what's taking place in this land. So we already at a stage where you cannot depend on the political leaders of this land to fight for you. Like I've said, we have to fight our own battle. Yes.
And therefore, if we can't rely upon the leaders and them, so we got to rely upon one another then.
Yes, exactly.
So then and therefore, why we have the leaders then?
Well, that's why we have to ask them. That's why I've said you have to call them out. What is going on? You're not hearing a single word. This thing is unimaginable, unthinkable. That not a word you hear about your gold, your diamond, your bauxite, or your timber. Baishalin came here and was fetching out boatloads of our timber. If I am not lying, they are back here, already start doing the same thing. Our bauxite is going out every month. And all you hear is that these companies losing money. The gold going out and what you're getting, nothing. And guess who they're running after? Well, the oil is going out now. We don't know what's going out, but we know we're getting crumbs. All you hear from our leaders, hey, Glenn Lall, your taxes is okay. It's up to date. No, you have to fix it. Go and check his books. Go and check Bernard books. Go and check Gafoor. Go and check this one. Go and check that one. Go and check Kimal King. That's what I do.
So then and therefore, it makes me ask this question: why then we got these investors coming here if it's not benefiting us, if it's not beneficial to us as Guyanese?
Well, they're coming here to only benefit the political players.
The leaders are benefiting. The people are not, but the leaders are
benefiting.
But I thought when we appoint leaders in this country is to do things on behalf of the people.
No.
Okay, correct me.
We are dealing with serious times now, bro.
Yeah.
Leaders now is not like long ago. You used to have decent and honest leaders, people with integrity. These days, you can't find them. All they concerned with, from the time they go in there, is how much for me and what is coming from there to my purse or to my pocket or to my safe. That's all these people thinking about. Look when they go in, look the kind of money they're spending. Look, today, let me say this. Today, Harman had a press conference. And the ERC, the Ethnic Relation Commission, are being given hundreds of millions of tax dollars to carry out their functions, trying to bring the ethnic groups together. And guess what? We carried so many stories that the money is disappearing from that account. They're doing little or nothing.
And giving themselves $150,000 bonus.
And they're giving themselves money from that fund. And when you ask Harman today, he said, well, media reports is out to broke up the ERC. And about the money, the man has said nothing.
But should that money be used to foster ethnic unity?
Tomorrow we're carrying that story. Mr. Harman have said nothing as to all the media reports. All he said that media report out to broke it up. But he has said nothing about the accountability about our tax dollars that was given to them, how they're spending it, and what they're doing with it. You know? So is everybody just in every department, every organization, every agency, these people just go there to see what they could grab from the kitty jar.
It's like a former minister charging $1 million to go to Wakenham. What's her name?
Yeah, $900,000. Yeah. Miss Ferguson Tech forgot to Wakenham and come back.
How many people you can carry to Wakenham for that 900,000, Glenn?
But if I can go with 50,000 and come back here and take all 5 of us for dinner and left back with money in my pocket. 50,000, not 900,000. Unless she hires some jet and been there with it. And we don't have any jet going there.
But then and therefore, what I'm thinking is, you know, if this is the way that the leaders are operating, then our future don't look bright.
Our future is completely in the dark.
No, if we the people come together and force them to do what's in our best interest, we have to speak up. We have to stand out. We have to speak up. Glenn, one thing.
We got to get our acts together.
One quick thing. On oil now, we have an article about Suriname speeding up their oil production program to have forest oil by 2025. So they are following Guyana in speeding up oil production. But the people are not getting the most important factor in this case. Suriname is getting 42% of all the oil produced, while we are getting 14%. They are getting a fair share of the oil. We are not getting a fair share. So would it not make sense for us to slow down the extraction of oil until we get a better deal?
Bro, I have been saying this thing umpteen times. Suriname is not even in a rush for oil. Because Suriname believe that oil will never go out. But our leaders believe or telling us oil will go out. So speed up and carry away. You gotta come, you gotta be with me Friday. I'm doing a special program on that. So you get a full understanding. Our leaders want us to believe because Exxon is telling them, right? Well, of course, everything Exxon and the oil company tells them, they're going with that. So they're hustling to push that down our throat and say, well, oil will not have any value in 20, 30, 40 years. Suriname and many other nations have said it clearly that in 20, 30 years' time, oil will be on top of the world because there will not be enough energy being generated by this greenhouse energy and that can supply the world's demand. So oil will always be there. And Guyana's oil and Suriname oil
the best quality
is the best oil you have on earth.
And the cheapest to get.
Cheapest too. So if it's the best and the cheapest, why you want to give it away now? Your best will always be the best.
It will always be in demand. It will always be in demand.
It will always be in demand. If you have the sweetest mango, your mango will always be in demand.
Definitely. And one other quick thing. If you Google the peak oil has not been reached as yet. They keep on saying that this next 5 year be the peak oil, next 10 years. Peak oil the peak is not reached as yet, much less the fall off. So the peak oil should be in 20, 25 years. If that's a peak, we still have 125 years more.
Exxon has sold out many countries. They have stopped doing business in many countries and focus on Guyana. Why?
To take away everything.
Because our thing they get it for free. Ours is the best. They make billions in their pockets. So I would have done the same thing too. If I can't make money on one or two or three business out there, and this one is making business, I will shut down everything and come here. So every they're just shutting down and come here.
I'll put you on this spot here, right? Why would you think? Why you think that Suriname was able to get a better oil deal than us?
Why Suriname got a better oil deal than us? This is my belief. I don't think the leaders in Suriname are corrupt, right? And they are looking out for their people's best interests. They would have went out and got experts' advice. It's not that we didn't have experts' advice, We had.
The government didn't take that advice.
But the government didn't take it. I recall we did a story in which GGMC head, the man wrote the minister, then Rampersaud,
to auction.
and tell him, say, listen, we got these oil blocks and we should put them in the open auction.
Yes, because 4 oil companies wanted them.
Right? The man tell him clearly. The man said 2 years passed and he has never even heard back a note. All you know, the 2 oil blocks disappear in people's hands for free. So they weren't working in our best interest, bro. Suriname people are working in the best interest for their people. There are many things we could talk about Suriname. Not only the royalty, we get less than 2%. Them get 6.25%. We get no taxes whatsoever. Those people collect 36% taxes on every drop of oil that leaves Suriname. You know what kind of money you're talking about here? Suriname will become
Dubai
and
Kuwait. Better than Dubai.
Better than Dubai and Kuwait. And Guyana will become the slave.
Haiti, we become Haiti.
Yes, worse than
Haiti. Then one other quick thing. To show how the Surinamese government care for the people. In Suriname, what duties you pay on vehicles in Suriname, Glenn? And look what the government does to duties of the people in Guyana.
Mm-hmm.
When a Guyanese buy a vehicle, we have to pay more than a vehicle in duties and taxes.
Yes. Yep.
And in Suriname, vehicles almost duty free to everybody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that shows how the government cares for the people over there.
People, yeah. Mm-hmm. And they look out for the people.
But
it's a sad situation, really.
Yes, it is. Because
and you guys out there need to understand, it's a very, very, very sad situation we're in. It's not something you can take lightly. A friend asked me, Lall, how you to sleep? And I tell him, man, sometimes I take a coconut water and vodka to go to sleep. The thing is taking a toll, not only on myself, but I have staff member in here who this thing is taking a toll on. Because every day you're banging on this, every day we are showing this, every day we are seeing this. Today, in today's meeting, the staff were like, oh my God, no, not again, not this again. And I want to talk about it on Friday. It's horrible. If you think what I said here tonight is horrible, it's worse come Friday. Yeah.
Okay, folks, it's time to wrap up. So, Mr. Lall, if you would give us your closing remarks or say what you would like to say to the people of Guyana.
Guys, I want all of you to know and to remember. You had energy. You had the strength. And you went out into the streets on the last election results. You went out there to fight. Fight for democracy. You were right. I am 100% with you. You were right in doing that, fighting for democracy. But man, you are sitting on your hands now. Why? You have to stand up on your feet and let's get out there and fight for our bread and butter. That is more important than any elections whatsoever. You have to fight for our children and children's future. Guys, it's our life. It's our future. This is not election. This is not about selection. This is about our thing that was given to us by our Creator. A very good night to all of you, and God bless you.